These sliders come together so quickly. They are perfect for game day or if you're entertaining. Everybody's going to love these sliders. So we're going to start off with our slider buns. You can use either 12 mini buns, or if you want to use like a little bit of a bigger slider, they're going to come in a package of about 6. We have a 9x13 baking dish and we have our oven preheated to 375 degrees. Okay, we're going to spray our baking dish, and you can use glass, you can use ceramic, cast iron, whichever you prefer. We're just going to spray it with a nonstick baking spray, or you can do olive oil. You could also use butter. That's a really good option. Place the buns in the baking dish, and because we're serving these like donuts, we're going to separate all of them. You can use regular potato buns like these. You can also use like a sweet style bun, whichever you have available. Now hollow out the inside. You're just going to want to go down. I'll show you here. We're going to take out that center. You want to make sure that you don't pierce the bottom. Now, just do this for all your sliders. When I'm cutting around the edges, you can see that I'm really trying to hollow out that inside, but still leave a little bit of a wall. I also keep the insides of these because you can always toast these up and use them as croutons. Or if you wanted to do just like a little fun batch of French toast bites, you can always do that too. I'm going to make the egg wash by adding a 1/4 cup of water and 1 large egg. We're going to mix that together and then brush the tops of the slider buns. Lightly brush the top of your buns with the egg wash. This is going to give your buns a little bit of that golden crisp, and I'm going to do just a few at a time because we need to sprinkle some of that sugar on top. The recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of sugar, just depending on the size of your sliders, but we're just sprinkling just a little bit on the edge to just sweeten it and give it a little bit of caramelization once it comes out of the oven. I'm going to pop these in the oven. It's preheated to 375 degrees and bake for about 12 to 15 minutes. They should be golden brown on top. While the sliders are baking in the oven, we're going to make the instant pudding. And there's just a couple of notes on this. So your pudding is going to say to add 2 cups. Because we want this to be really thick and rich, we're just going to do 1.5 cups, and that's going to be reflected right in the recipe below too. So by adding a little bit less milk, it is going to be really thick, more like, almost like a custard. Okay, so you can see that the mixture is coming together. We want it to hold its shape and also make sure like all the granules of, especially using an instant mixture, all of that is mixed in well so you don't get any bites of like sugar or anything like that. So this is set up. We're going to place it in the fridge for about 5 to 10 minutes just to let it firm up a little bit more because we want to make sure it holds its shape when we put it into the sliders. Today I'm using semi-sweet chocolate chips. I'm just gonna melt them in the microwave for a little bit. For the chocolate topping, you could also use like a chocolate syrup or like a hot fudge, some kind of, essentially just chocolate to just drizzle on top of those sliders. The slider buns are out of the oven. You wanna make sure that they're gonna cool completely, and then we have our platter ready. So you can see on the outside here, it's a little bit crispy. You can see that caramelization just a little bit from that sugar. They already smell good. Just having a little bit of that sugar on there and being baked, everybody is going to love these. Our vanilla pudding is set. You can see there's not a lot of movement there. That's exactly what we want before we put them into our sliders. You could add this into a piping bag, or if you just want to use 2 spoons like I'm using today, it's pretty easy to do. So we're just going to just scoop a little bit right in and then press it down in because we want to make sure we get lots of the filling. That's the best part when it comes to these. If you wanted to bake more for like a party or a get together, you can just double, triple, quadruple this recipe. If you wanted these to be perfectly neat, then I would hold off on putting your sliders on the dish. I like to show a little bit of the extra chocolate on here, so when we drizzle, it is going to get on the plate some. Some pieces will have a little bit more than others, and that is fine. They smell so good. So they are just like a Boston cream pie donut, but way easier to make, ready within about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on cooling time. We have that rich chocolate on the inside, the nice vanilla creamy custard on the inside, the crispy edge, but it's a soft and pillowy bun. It's just the perfect combination. Well, I better be the designated taste tester because I just want to make sure that they're perfect. They're just perfect, and they're just so easy to make. You guys have got to try these.